Well, obviously, excited for tomorrow. To rebound from Ohio State, which we'll certainly talk about, and then move forward to this one is important. Thoughts and prayers, obviously, with Dupree McBrayer, with what he's going through and his family's going through. It's been kind of happening for a couple of weeks. He's been amazingly strong and resilient through that. I could only imagine dealing with that at a young age. It's just sad. I mean, I've gotten to know his mom. She's a great, great lady. She was so supportive. Had just retired and was going to come up here a bunch, watch him play. So it's unfortunate. So our thoughts and prayers are with her or with him. Excuse me.
How do you counsel kids? Obviously, coaches go through this with their players, and there's no perfect timing. What do you do?
It's like anything else. I mean, if you have an answer to how to do it, let me know because, I think Jordan Murphy had asked me a couple of weeks ago because this has been going on for a little bit. And Murph said, like, what do you say to somebody? And I said, Murph, nobody knows what to say. You just say you're there for them and you be there for them all the time. As you get older in life, you have tragedies that happen, unfortunately. And it's the ones that stick with you the whole time, not just one day. Those are your true friends, and those are your true family members. So we're just there for him, whatever he needs. Obviously, helping him plan all this out, figure all this stuff out. We're there for logistically as well as just being mentally there for him.
And obviously, you're giving him some time and to decide whether or not he plays tomorrow.
Gave him off yesterday, and he'll be back today. So, I would anticipate he plays. We don't know when the funeral is or anything like that. It's not going to be tomorrow, obviously. So we're anticipating having him from a basketball standpoint, but that's totally irrelevant. I mean, I understand why you're asking, but for me, it's just making sure he's as good as he can be. Using basketball, you see athletes all the time. They use sports as a release. If he can do that, get his mind off it for a couple hours, then maybe it's done its job.
What stood out to you about meeting him and his mom, like during the recruiting process back then?
She was, I had tweeted it out earlier, but, everybody asks you about some funny recruiting stories, but this one was one of the funnier ones. When we went to Queens, we go to Kamani's house, and I'm with Kamani going to Dupree's house, and it's about 9:30, 9:45, and I walk in and I introduce myself, and Miss Tyra says, are you Italian, Pitino, right? I said, yeah, I'm Italian. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And then normally they provide some type of food. So she's like, are you hungry? I mean, it's like 10 o'clock. So sure, you never turn down food when you go on these in-home visits. And so she busts out some lasagna and some pasta and some bread. So I'm like, all right, here's the Italian angle. And then, they ask you, what do you want to drink? And so you normally take whatever they have, juice, water, Sprite, soda, whatever it may be. And she just hands me a big, tall Budweiser. And I'm just looking at Kamani like, I guess I have to drink this. I mean, I haven't drank Budweiser in forever. But just a great lady, a very warm person. You'd have a big win, she'd text you. She was never a parent to text you any complaints. Supportive, hardworking. Worked in a prison for a long, long time. So a special, special lady.
And as you said, Jordan approached you to help, how he can help Dupree. Jordan is one of your captains, and going into this game, it's an important game for Jordan to be able to kind of help as a leader. Obviously, if Dupree's there, he's going to need everybody else's support. So what can Jordan do and the rest of the team do to kind of lift?
Well, it's not just on Jordan. It's on everybody just to be there for him. I mean, again, nobody knows what to say with these type of tragedies to anybody, and how many times have you thought about when you hear something and you say, oh, what do I text so-and-so, or do I call? You never really know, right? So just being there for him, you know what I mean? And just if you can make him laugh, make him laugh. You can make him smile, take your mind off it. Because it's obviously a very lonely feeling. But, when you're part of a locker room and a family of those things, unfortunately, a lot of them have things going on, and that's like life too. I mean, you never know what people are going through. Everybody's dealing with something that you may not know about, so just being there for them.
And this is a game that, I mean, it's an important game so that, like you said, if Dupree's playing, he's been playing this whole time through things, you're hoping, you can go out there and the whole team can rally around him.
I hope we win the game. I'm, not going to make it bigger than that.
Nebraska, obviously, a lot of top 25 teams. A lot of teams have done well in the preseason. What do you see when you look at us?
Got a lot of guys back from a good team. Borderline. They were close last year, NCAA tournament, won a bunch of games. To win at Clemson. Clemson's a very, very good team. To blow out Seton Hall, who's a very, very good team. Their only blip, I guess, would be Texas Tech, where they didn't play great. But a lot of talent. That starting five is as talented as any team on the roster or in the conference, if not the country. A lot of upperclassmen. So they're not going to be fazed by the road. Hard driving, tough team. A lot of the things that we didn't do well versus Ohio State, we're going to deal with versus them. They're very, very physical, offensively and defensively. So we got to learn from Ohio State and improve on it.
You said that after the game, the Big Ten toughness was introduced to your team. Was that a good sign? I mean, did they get a real good wake-up call there as to what it's going to be like the rest of the way?
No doubt. I mean, we're with Eric Curry being out, we become substantially younger. You're playing Daniel Otero, you're playing Jarvis, you're playing a lot of minutes. And then we've got 5 new faces. Brock is still going to take him some time. Mott's is going to take them time. So when you take an Eric Curry out, we got a lot of new faces. And so that was a wake-up call. You can tell them over and over again that they're going to be really physical, but sometimes you just got to see it. So you don't like to play as poorly as we did. It's only worth one. And so you just find a way to learn from that film and get tougher from it.
Do teams take away more in the Big Ten because you know each other so much better, having played against each other in the past, they know personnel, all those things?
I think there's tendencies that if a player plays against a team, like, Jordan Murphy, Dupree, Isaiah, Mike, guys like that who played last year are going to know the way Nebraska plays. But you got to go through the Big Ten to understand what it's all about. You're not getting calls at the basket. You got to go up strong. You got to be physical on blockouts. They're going to throw you out of the way, and that's just the way the Big Ten is.
Being home, it's hard to believe 6 straight games away from the barn, but you guys are back. What does that mean for your team?
It's been a long time. November 12th. It's the longest time I've been away as a high major coach at any level. Normally, when you're at the lower and the mid majors, you kind of go away a little bit. But, it was kind of a risk that we were willing to take. We thought the Vancouver event would be great, and it was. We thought that playing in U.S. Bank was a risk somewhat worth taking. I mean, it was a risk because we didn't know if we'd be home or away on Sunday. So you play a Friday night game at 9, but you got a quality win there. And whether or not we were tired, travel, none of that matters. But you're bouncing back after one day. So it's going to feel good to be back home. You got to win at home in this league. It's crazy just the schedule that we've played. I think I saw something. I don't know if that number's changed, but we were 4th Ken Pom non-conference strength schedule. So our guys have been tested. We have not been great on the road. We've been great at neutral sites. Now we got to be great at home.
Sometimes it almost looks like, before you get to the first of the year, like it is just one big Big Ten schedule because the net, or whatever they call it now instead of the RPI, you're just trying to get as many quality wins as you can, right? And it almost gets, it doesn't matter if it's Big Ten or not, you're trying to play as many high majors as you can.
Yeah, last year, probably because our season was over a little too early, I really, really studied the NCAA tournament selection deal. And I studied other team schedules. And I tried to figure out what exactly is going into why, I think it was Oklahoma had 18, 19 wins. Why did they get in the tournament? And Nebraska had 22, 23, whatever they had, right? And it really comes down to who you beat, not who you lose to. It used to be win 20, and there used to be these bad losses. I think as it pertains to the NCAA tournament, as many good opportunities as you can get on your schedule, you need them. You know, and you just got to try to win as many as you can. I do think it's about who you've beat. Now, the criteria has changed a lot, so who knows if it changes again. But I do think from last year, it's important for us to beat good teams, and then we got to cheerlead when we beat those teams because those are quality wins for us. So we need Washington, and we need Utah, and we need Oklahoma State. And Texas A&M, the better those teams are, it's better for us.
Daniel and Jarvis, you talked about their youth. Both of them are, they're a little bit more physically ready than, a lot of freshmen. What part of the toughness that you talked about playing in the Big Ten can they learn from that Ohio State game?
Well, nobody's as physical as the kid Wesson, right? I mean, he's big. He's very big. There's certainly guys in our league, Nick Wards and so on. But I think when you say physical and you say toughness, I don't want that to be perceived as, you got to sprint into ball screens, set great ball screens, because teams of good size and physicality, they're going to fight over them, and they're going to blow them up, and they're going to do those things. So little things like setting great screens, great blockouts, great cuts, that's what I mean by toughness. The other things, grabbing loose balls, and those are the obvious toughness things. But against Ohio State, we definitely did not do those things.
Do you feel like you're any closer to your identity as a team, or do you feel like you're still trying to find that?
Great identity on neutral site courts, not great on the road. We've got to get. We've been, we've been really good at times. We've been really bad at times. Those two games on the road, we were really bad. But we were really good in spurts versus Oklahoma State and A&M and Utah and, Washington, obviously. So still getting there.
In those games, it's come down to not shooting great from the outside. Based on looking back at those games, did you like the quality of the shots?
I liked them versus Boston College. I didn't like them versus Ohio State. I thought Boston College, I thought we missed a lot of open looks. I think Ohio State imposed their will on us, and we stopped sprinting into screens and sprinting into cuts and posting up deep. We had several times we threw Jordan Murphy the ball like right in front of the three-point line. That's not what we're trying to do. Tale of two games, I think, a little bit.
What's the key to Washington having a good night and a bad night? Is it making a couple of shots early or what?
No. With Isaiah, it's got to be less about shooting, I think, and more about – Isaiah is phenomenal at hitting up the sideline. Really, really good. Every time we put him in, it seems like we get a mirror up a sideline for 2 or 3 open baskets. He's terrific at that. I do think he needs to stop shooting so many threes and focus on getting in the lane. He's been really, really good at that. That's, I think, his greatest strength. And just taking care of the ball. He had a bunch of assists in the first game, and now I think he had 11, right, Dan? Well, he's at 27 assists, 14 turnovers. So more high assists, low turnovers, and just improving that shot selection. He takes some high degree of difficulty shots, cutting down on those.
Is he an amped guy? Is he an over-amped guy? Something?
No, he's probably the opposite. He's kind of got that cool thing going at times. But he's gotten better. He really has gotten better. I think that his attitude's been really good. I think now it comes down to just embracing the physicality of the Big Ten. But from watching, when you rewatch Ohio State last year and you watch Nebraska last year, he's really, really improved. He knows that he's extremely important to this team. He's just got to continue to improve on a lot of decision-making things that he's doing. But he's definitely trending in the right direction. Good. Thank you.